Jews are a small people. Our entire global population is estimated at just 15 to 16 million, less than the population of Greater Cairo. Nearly half the Jewish people live in Israel, and by far the largest Jewish diaspora lives in the United States. But despite our low numbers, Jews are an extremely diverse people. So let's talk about the groups within Judaism. What we know today as Orthodox Judaism used to be known as Rabbinic Judaism. It was called rabbinic because of the emphasis it placed on the authority of rabbis to interpret the Torah, which tradition believes Moses received from God on Mount Sinai. The great early works of these rabbis were the Mishnah and the Talmud, but they continue to interpret Jewish law to this day. Rabbinic Judaism was set apart from other ancient groups within the people of Israel who didn't accept the authority of the rabbis, such as the Sadducees, the Karaites, and the Samaritans. Orthodox Jews shape their lives according to halakha, or Jewish law. So, for example, they eat strictly kosher food and will do no constructive work on Shabbat. There are, however, huge differences within the Orthodox stream, from the ultra-Orthodox, who separate themselves from the Western world to the best of their ability, to the modern Orthodox, who embrace modernity. Or from hardcore rationalists known as Misnagdim or Litvaks, to members of spiritual and mystical communities with charismatic leadership, known as Hasidim. Orthodoxy is the fastest growing group within Judaism and is more popular in Israel than it is in the diaspora. It's easy to identify Orthodox Jews because of their traditional clothing, such as the head covering for both men and married women. In 19th century Germany, a new form of Judaism took root. Its leading thinker, Rabbi Avraham Geiger, was critical of Jewish isolation from their Christian surroundings and viewed Judaism more as a set of ethical principles than a legal system. Reform Jews view the Torah as a human creation and therefore put less emphasis on Jewish law. Geiger said Jews should not be slaves to the letter of the Bible, but rather focus on its spiritual essence. Reform Judaism sees itself as more universalist and humanistic than Orthodoxy, and one of its core tenets is tikkun olam, or repairing the world. Reform communities changed the traditional Hebrew prayer and began worshiping in German and English, introducing musical instruments into the synagogue. Today, Reform Jews are generally more tolerant of intermarriage, same-sex marriage, and adhere to other progressive values. The Reform stream of Judaism is the largest in the United States, but is quite small in Israel. The more conservative members of the European Reform movement, who insisted on maintaining prayers in Hebrew and on eating kosher food, established what would come to be known as the conservative or Masorti movement. Today, it's the third largest movement in Judaism. Conservative Jews maintain the importance of halakha, but are generally more flexible in its adaptation to modern times. For instance, conservative synagogues allow for equal participation of men and women, and some conservative rabbis authorize driving to synagogue on Shabbat. So, we've addressed different groups within Judaism, but honestly, many Jews are uncomfortable with any denominational labels. Like so many people in the 21st century, they'd rather pick and choose the elements of Judaism that suit them best as individuals. I hope you've learned something new about Judaism in this video. Don't forget to like it and subscribe to our channels on social media.